Hello there, my name is Aaron and I like to make things out of old toys and model kits. I found this Paws Patrol vehicle in my local thrift store and decided to take it home after laying down the €2 I might add. Paws Patrol is a kids cartoon apparently. I can't say I've ever watched it. Anyhow, it's been sat in my toy box for a couple of months now. I've had no idea what to do with it until I recently rewatched the Fifth Element film starring Bruce Willis. Well, you know what that means. Let's start scratching that build. While taking the toy apart, I found a secret compartment, or battery cover for the non-adventurous people out in YouTubey land. If I pop some fresh batteries inside, it might tell me the secret on how to get more subscribers to my channel, apart from hitting the subscribe button and liking the video. Cheap begging over with, it's back to the build. As you can see, apart from the lights, it also has a speaker, so lights and sound, which will probably bug the stuffing out of me at any point, if it actually works. Right, let's get some... let's have a look, see what... Okay, so that's the speaker that I've delicately manhandled enough for it to not work now probably. Fresh batteries. Here we go. Let's get the batteries in. Okay, so the button's at the front and... Oh, nothing. Okay, can't be the batteries because I only bought them a few days ago. Let's just retry the batteries, and there's the lights, and thank goodness the speaker doesn't work, but the lights do. I'll take that. Right, let's move on. I need to take the wheels off, so a little corrective surgery is needed. The button that had the Paws Patrol logo on it has been sanded down and put back in its place. I'll cover that later. I'll cover it later. Now to try and get it all back in, and if you notice I've got gaps, which isn't unusual for a Terrain by Aaron build, but I've taken the side, I don't know what you call them, lightning bolts, strikes or something. Let's get these screws back in and I'll explain more. Now for the lights to be seen, I'm going to trim down some of the lightning strike plastic. I couldn't think of a better word to explain that piece, and hopefully cover the gap with it, allowing the light to still shine through. And don't worry, I'm not a professional and I'm making this up as I go along. Okay, lightning strikes are cut down and placed over the gaps either side, and you can still see the light shining through. I'm going to use two spray bottle thingy-madoos, just need to pull them apart for all their greebly goodies inside. And this is what you have left when you take a spray lid doodah apart. Amazing, isn't it? To cover the gappage I have on the toy, I'm going to use the hull from a model kit, and I do believe it's the USS Enterprise battleship, not to be confused with the USS Enterprise Star Trek ship. Using my X-Acto blade or hobby knife, I score a line along the plastic, not to be confused with any other line you were thinking of, you naughty people. I know, it looks random, but work with it, people. This is a Terrain by Aaron video, and you wouldn't have it any other way. After covering the main gaps, I still have smaller gaps, so I need to cover them. So using some pieces from the spray bottles, I fashion up two engines made from plastic leprechaun milk bottles. Some more bits from the model kit are added to the top, and as you can see, the hover car is slowly taking shape. Well, I can see, I don't know about you guys, because a lot of people are saying that nothing ever comes together until the paint. Well, that is true. So anyway, wait till the paint job and then you'll see. I filled in the gap where I think the Paw Patrol action figure sat, using some very thin plasticard, before gluing on the engines. Then I had a little play around with various bits of plastic to get an idea on where things should go and how it was going to look, and it was at this point I decided that it was going to be a futuristic car, hence Fifth Element. But that changes later on. 2 highlighter marker lids are going on the build because I like the shape and may help hide certain imperfections. And while I do that, I want to give some shout outs to my awesome subscribers who leave informative, witty comments on my videos. You guys and girls are awesome, and I wouldn't be doing this without your support. I thank you so much. And lastly, Spider-Muff, who's a channel member. If you want to be a channel member, look on my page and you'll see memberships. It's only a couple of euros a month. It really will help the channel out and make me afford all the paints and stuff that I keep buying for the channel. Anyway, if you just want to just subscribe and like and leave a comment, that is totally fine with me, and I appreciate all your support. That is builder's tape that I'm just going to use. You put it on dry walls and stuff like that to help cement stick to walls or the ground, blah blah blah. Not really a builder. Well, I am actually. I'm a scratch builder, but not a home bit. I just backed myself into a corner there, didn't I? Anyway, I put that around the engine and stuck the engines onto the vehicle now, because it's not a spaceship anymore. It is now some sort of vehicle. I'm a firm believer of anything sci-fi should have some sort of tubing or piping, and this is the piping that you use for ponds and stuff like that. Those aren't piping, those are disposable razors. I'm just using the handles that I thought would look quite cool. Foreshadowing here, it didn't end up very cool after the paint job because I forgot that that was made of rubber and the paint kept peeling off the rubber. Some vintage proper plastic straws, impossible to find over here as we're now reduced to slurping soft drinks through mushy paper straws. They're going to be added to the build. Just don't tell the straw police because they'll be knocking on the door asking for these plastic straws very shortly. While I cut them down and stick them onto the build, it's code word time. If you want to leave a comment, then put this comment at the start so I know you're a proper watcher and not a peeper. And the code word is Lilu. Also, please like and subscribe. Okay, so that's as much as I can do. It's on the turntable, which means it's going off to get primed. There's the shot of the underneath. Looks like space sci-fi sort of thing. Anyway, spinny time, and then it'll come back painted with a primer of grey. Because I wanted the button to still work, I didn't use the rattle can. I used Vallejo's primer because it's thinner and won't clog up the connection if I was using the thicker rattle can version. Vallejo blue is being put down, and the airbrush Anger is that's the name of the airbrush for all the new subscribers, is doing its trick again of not working properly. While I was painting this, I decided that it was going to be a taxi, so there's going to be an awful lot of masking being put on, simply because I wanted to make a black and white checkered sort of pattern, just to do something different with my paint jobs, because I haven't really done anything like this before. So this was a first for me. Like I said, it took a lot of time to add the crisscrosses, but it was worth it in the end, I think. So it's going to be a simple black and white checker. Ooh, this looks awfully dark on the screen. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Now we're back to normal. I do believe I was working with half lights because I forgot to put some on. Anyway, I'm just doing each other square, if this makes sense to you. You can see on the screen what I'm doing. I'm just doing like a chessboard, basically. While I had the blackout, I painted the piping. which gave enough time for my checkerboard to have dried, and I carefully started peeling it all off, and hey look, you know, it looks pretty cool. I'm going to use another Vallejo paint. I'm not sponsored by Vallejo. People have asked what colours I use and what paints I use, so I'm just showing you what paints I use. I love these paints. They're fantastic to go through the airbrush and to also paint by hand. Because this is a taxi, a bit of yellow, which I'm just going to start slapping on right now. I also like using these poster paints by Artiste. They've got a nice pigment to them. I've also tried the apple green or apple something paints, and I find them too watery and inconsistent, but these Artiste paints are really cool as well. So what I did was I used the I used the Vallejo first as the base colour, and then the Artiste yellow on top just to give it a more vibrant colour. I painted the underneath of the vehicle using the Artiste poster paint black. You won't see that, but I will know it's there, so that's why I'm just painting that all black. I spotted the paint chip on there, right there and there. This used to make me freak out and worry and think, oh, how can I not fix it? But everything's fixable, even though I make a boo-boo at the end and it looked kind of terrible, but I've got an explanation for that. So what I decided to do is, using some more masking tape, I'm going to do another set of checkers along the razor. Now in hindsight I shouldn't have bothered because it peels off more paint than I put on, but you live and learn. Talk amongst yourselves while I just quickly do this. So once all that had dried, it was time to peel off the masking tape, and like I said, it just started peeling away everything. Total disaster. And this is what I'm left with. So what I do is I just cover that up with some, I was going to use some tank treads to put as bumpers, but I thought no, it's a taxi, it's going to get dinted and knocked, so all I'm going to do is just paint it with some rust and some black panel liner, just to give it that sort of wear and tear look. And then I thought, oh no, I'll use the vintage 2000 and whatever homemade wash. So I just slather it all with black wash, and then just take it off with a dry brush. So this is me with a dry brush, and what I do is I just try and scoop all the heavy parts and just sort of thin them down very slightly. So yeah, that's basically how I started to build a Fifth Element vehicle, and it turned into, well, I think a Blade Runner vehicle. The glamour shots will explain all next, so all that's left for me to say is thank you very much for stopping by and watching. I appreciate all your support. Keep liking, leaving comments and subscribe, and until next time, keep scratching that build everybody. Glamour shots are next.